My name is Harrison Wood, the son of Rhonda Wood, who's the founder and the winemaker here at Wood Family Vineyards. My title is Executive Vice President, but I also go by the COO, Child of Owner. My role here, I had the operational logistics. I also had the wholesale sales, deliveries, do have a hand in marketing, the special events, things of that nature.
Yeah. So pretty much everything that can be done is part of your responsibility.
Yeah, Swiss Army knife of sorts, yeah.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yep.
And for those just tuning in, this is East Bay Outside. We're touring the Wood Family Vineyards.
Yes.
In lovely Livermore, California. This is their fabulous tasting room. Although it is big, recommendation for reservations. Highly recommended, especially on the weekends. It gets pretty crazy in here. Live music. Wood Family is a big supporter of live music in this valley, and we love them for that.
If you want to follow me this way, I'll show you through the barrel room.
Awesome. Cool swag, too.
Yeah.
Gotta love the tie-dye.
So yeah, this barrel room, we don't always have it available. In fact, unfortunately, we're going to be losing it at least temporarily in a couple of weeks when we start bottling, because this is, I mean, everything that we do here at the winery is all done here aside from actually growing the vineyards. We do own vineyards. We own about 18 acres of property, 14 of which is actual vineyards. And it is here in Livermore, just about maybe a 5-minute drive away. But everything else other than growing the vineyards is done here. And so when we do bottling, we have to rearrange everything in here. And so we do sometimes lose this room, but we like to keep it for most of the year so people can have a kind of a cool, aesthetically appealing place to go taste some wine.
Yeah, it's a cool vibe. Yeah. Very cool vibe. And it's also nice to kind of escape the ruckusness in the winery itself when you're trying to when you're hosting a live band.
Yep.
It can get not terribly rowdy, but it gets loud.
Yeah, and it's a good way for people to still be able to listen to the music, but not have it blasting in your ears at the same time. Yeah.
What would you say your total cases are?
So we do about, depends on the year. So the 2019 vintage, we produced about 6,000 cases.
Wow.
But for the 2020, you know, with the fires and everything, that actually dialed back production quite a bit. We produced only about 4,000 cases that year because we only source our grapes from Livermore Valley. We don't source all of our grapes from Livermore. We source all of our grapes from Livermore. We don't source all of our grapes from our own vineyard. But it all comes from Livermore. It's all locally grown here in the valley.
So you truly do represent the Livermore Valley in every...
We try to. Yeah, we try to.
You're tasting Livermore when you're drinking Wood Family wine.
Yes, very much so. Yeah, but actually for the 2022 vintage, we actually are producing about 8,000 cases.
Wow.
Yeah, so we are increasing in size and reach and whatever else you want to say, but yeah, we are growing.
So would you consider yourself still to be a boutique winery, or where does that cap at?
Very much so. Livermore is kind of an interesting place in that, you know, people imagine craft breweries, imagine the same thing, but for wineries.
Right.
We are one of the largest in Livermore, but on the grand scheme of things, if we're talking like the world scale, I mean, we're still microscopic.
Right.
So as far as being boutique, yes, very much so. As far as are we a boutique in comparison to Livermore, it's debatable, because I would say we're definitely in the top 6 or 7 as far as case production goes. But yeah, we're still very much boutique, family owned and operated winery. Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah.
All in-house production. Pretty amazing.
Yeah, and then this area over here, the reason I'm walking over here is because basically all the production that happens in this winery, it all happens right here. Now, we don't have all the equipment right here right now. The equipment's on wheels, so we can move it around different places. But this area right here is what we consider to be the crush pad. And the reason why we call it that is because it's just where everything gets done. I mean, you can see the barrels right here. They were doing some barrel sampling earlier. But during the harvest time, we bring out the stemmer, the elevator, you know, fermentation bins, things of that nature. This machine right over there, that is called the press, that big gray metal thing, which gets used quite a bit.
Oh, yeah.
But,
names. Yeah, folks certainly do not skimp on quality when it comes to wine production. French oak? American oak?
mostly French. We do use French and American. We even have a few Hungarian oak barrels, but we do focus mainly on French oak for most of our wines. We use American for Zinfandel and sometimes Petit Syrah as well. But and we did mess around a little bit this year with some of our cabs too, just like to play around a little bit and experiment and see what different things we're going to get out of the wine based on how we produce it and age it. Yeah, but mostly French.
Do you have a signature wine, do you think?
So that's kind of a funny question. We do get asked that question quite a bit. The answer is complex in a way. So if you ask 10 people today what their favorite wine is from Wood Family Vineyards, you might get 10 different answers. But what initially put us on the map back in the early 2000s was Zinfandel. Mm-hmm. Now, the reason I hesitate on saying Zinfandel as the signature varietal is because our fastest selling wines now are probably the Rosé, our Albarino, and our Chardonnay. We also do a few blends. We do GSM, a couple of Bordeaux blends, and then we have 4 different Cabernet Sauvignons that we do too, and they all sell real well, and people love them too. So what initially put us on the map was Zinfandel. Nowadays, not entirely sure if we have a specific signature varietal. Yeah.
I can again attest that the Cab Franc is spectacular.
Yes, we do make Cab Franc. We're actually one of the oldest producers of Cab Franc in the valley. It's one of our favorite varietals to make. We did plant some on our property. We actually went through a huge replanting venture. Again, I mentioned we have 18 acres of property, 14 of which is actual vineyards. Mm-hmm. It used to all be Merlot, but in an effort to become more self-sustainable and estate-driven, we took out 11 of the 14 acres. So we still have 3 acres of Merlot. But the 11 that we took out, we replanted with Cabernet Sauvignon, Cabernet Franc, Malbec, Petit Verdot, and then Zinfandel as well. So we do produce our own estate Cabernet Franc, and it's something we've been doing since, I believe, 2001. Not from our own estate since 2001, but we've been producing the varietal for over 20 years now. Yeah.
Excellent. Anything else you want to add?
Yeah, so a little bit about what makes us unique, in case you didn't get it earlier. I'm not sure entirely everything that my mom had said earlier, but so what makes us unique, there's a couple things. There's what makes us unique physically, and then what makes us unique as a brand and as a company. As a brand and a company, we want to be really welcoming. We want to be people to feel invited. We want people to feel like they can come in, hang out with us, get to know us, not just taste the wine, but get to know who we are. One of the things that I really try to avoid is the whole vibe of get in, taste, buy, get out. I want people to come in, feel comfortable, feel like they're at home, and feel like it's a place that they can kind of really go to for a sense of enjoyment. And so that's from the brand and marketing standpoint, but I'd like to walk you out here, actually this way. So